So today is probably going to be the biggest video I've ever had, and as far as like an announcement, we didn't win anything, we didn't win a big race, nothing like that. I'm just super pumped. We finally got some solidified 2025 plans. If you've been a subscriber for a while or a supporter of me in any way, then I'm sure this year was not what you wanted in terms of YouTube videos, in terms of just being at the racetrack, man. A little rewind if you don't know. I thought that this year I was going to have an entire Cars Tour thing planned out, and I was going to be running for the championship and that, hopefully running for the championship, and that I'd never done it before. But I had high hopes for myself coming out of the strong year we had the year prior. And then, you know, I just had a lot of disagreements with the team that I was on, and you know, it just fell through, and it's disappointing that it worked out that way, but it did, and you got to move on. And we had a great run for 10 years, won a lot of big races. I felt like last year was probably the biggest year of my career, won a lot of big races, won the most races I've ever won in a season. But that unfortunately came to an end, and then this year I ran with Dustin Storm. Dustin Storm and Scott Lang were big pushes of me continuing the race, because honestly without them I think I probably would be done. I'm not gonna lie, like after the icebreaker this year, and I know there wasn't a video for it just because I was just so mad about the whole way that weekend went, and the vibes were terrible. You wouldn't like the video, and I didn't feel like it would match my content well. I feel like it sucked, and like I said, the vibes were just terrible. It's not something I want you guys to be a part of, because I didn't even want to be a part of it. But Scott and Dustin really pushed me to keep racing, and then we went out and we won the Dick Boswell race this year, which is crazy because that was the big race I won last year, and then we won it this year. I went and I ran a one-off with AK that I thought was going to be a Cars Tour race then too. I thought I was going to run the NASCAR weekly race at Florence and then go and run the Cars Tour race with them, but it just didn't work. I love those guys. They're great guys. I had a lot of fun racing with them, but it just didn't work, and I didn't want to go to the Cars Tour and get embarrassed with whatever the problem was that we had at Florence, but it just wasn't meant to be. Then I took my car to Martinsville with Dustin, and we had decent speed before we got wadded up. Part 2 will come out eventually. Almost won the South Carolina 400, and we had a great shot to win the Thanksgiving Classic. You guys will see that pretty soon. I'm working on those videos now. But throughout the entire year, I've had the mindset that I want to have a 2025 schedule set. I want to have it completely set, solidified. No chance of what happened this year happening next year. And I've been in talks with a couple different teams, but I've kind of just had like this one team up here that I hold to a lot higher standard, and you know, the cream of the crop, and just basically what I really wanted to do if they would have me. And that was kind of always the question, is whether or not they would have me. So a lot of the teams, our conversations kind of dwindled out, but I always kept talking to this one. You know, after the Thanksgiving Classic, our talks really picked up. Basically, the team I was talking to, they said that they had a handful of drivers that they were considering going in the next year, and I was like, you know, I like that. Like I want to be a part of y'all's team, but if you go a different direction, I'll just do my own stuff. Like I was going to take my cars, and actually I say cars, I only have one car. I have that new car that you've been seeing me run. I have that car, and I would probably get another new one and maybe another motor or two, and then go run the Cars Tour with that. And then after a week or so, we came back and we discussed one more time, and they're like, well, if you're available and you want to be all in with us, we'll be all in with you. And then from that day on, it was set, and from that day on, it's just been pure excitement. I feel like there's a lot of hype from both sides. I haven't even said the team I'm talking about yet, but I don't know if this is going to come to a shock for a lot of you, but it doesn't even seem real when I say it out loud. But I'm going to be running the entire 2025 Cars Tour schedule with Lee Pullin Performance, and that's just, it's, oh my God, it's insane. I really cannot believe that this is even happening. We're also going to be running some select NASCAR races, starting with the Icebreaker on February 8th. That's going to be our debut together. It's gonna be a blast, man. That's a good track for them. They've won the South Carolina 400 with Brendan, and I've won that race, the Icebreaker race, myself last year. A strong track for both of us is going to be hopefully a great start. I've got high hopes, and I've always had a ton of respect for Lee, and I've always wanted to work with Lee. Lee was the first person I talked to after I split from my team earlier this year, and he just told me, he's like, man, he's like, if you came on board, I just want to do your stuff right. And they were booked. You know, they had a full, my thing fell apart at like the worst possible time because the season was just about to start. So like everybody's all ready and ready to go, and a lot of the seats were filled, so I couldn't get in as easy as I hoped. But I respected that because I don't want to go run for somebody that is just looking to make $1 off me. I want to run for a team that has the same expectations that I do, and my expectations, even going into some tracks next year that I've never been to before, is that I want to win. And I feel like they are going to put me in the best possible position to win when it comes to these things. They just won the Cars Tour Championship with Brendan. But I've got a lot of respect for their team. And Lee, I used to race against Lee. He's won everything you can win, from Martinsville to the national championship to everything when it comes to the sport. And so now I'm jumping on board with them, and I'm hoping we can make some noise. This is by far, I think, the biggest opportunity I've ever had in my racing career, and I'm really going to make the most of it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually going to be going all in when it comes to the YouTube channel as well. I think I'm going to be moving to North Carolina in the upcoming months just to be centralized. When I crunch the numbers, it kind of just seems like it might be cheaper just to have a mortgage or to rent a house down there than it would be to fly back and forth from Florida, and it also wouldn't take nearly as much out of me getting on a plane every single week. And that probably explains why it's December and I'm wearing short sleeves outside, because I am in Florida, so that's where I've been during the off season. Not that that matters too much, but look, man, I just want to keep this video short and sweet. I'm super pumped. Thank you, Lee, and all their guys for the opportunity to do this. And like I said, we're looking to make a lot of noise next year. I truly feel like if our goals were anything other than a championship and a few wins, then we'd be really selling ourselves short. I feel like I still have the skill and the confidence in myself to do so. And I know they know what they're doing, and they're going to provide me with some great equipment to go out there and accomplish these goals. So I'm super pumped to get into this year. I can't wait for the icebreaker, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a great year. On top of that, I'm also going to be running my car with Dustin at select big races when it comes to like NASCAR weekly shows. And we might just pick up and go run on an off weekend too. I don't know. But our first race with Dustin is going to be the Dickie Boswell race, and obviously that's a big race for me. They've only had 2 Dick Boswell races, and I've won both of them. So I'm looking to go back next year and win a 3rd. But look, man, like I said, I want to keep this video short and sweet. But if you have been a supporter of me in any way, thank you so much. I feel like this has just been a long time coming, an opportunity like this. And this might be the only opportunity I ever get to do something like this. So I'm really looking forward to making the most out of it. I'm going all in on this year. Nothing but racing. Then you're gonna be seeing a lot more of me on the channel, and whatever else I can potentially get involved in when it comes to like collaborations and anything else. And we're also gonna be coming out with a lot of merchandise too. But with that being said, I hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm looking forward to the future of the channel and the future of my racing career with these guys, and you know, just also getting these next couple of videos out and getting back on the right track when it comes to producing content for you. Again, thank you for sticking with me. It's been a tough year when it came to this. It hurt me sitting on the couch, but things are about to change. I'm back at it, man. Thank you for sticking around with me. I'll see you guys in the next video.